Good God. There's a lot of singing in this jump off. Oh, hey there. Just sitting here reading the script to Into the Woods. In case you were unaware, I have been cast as the baker in the Birdcage Theater's production of Into the Woods. This will be my second time dabbling in the world of thespianism. Did I bite off more than I could chew? Nah. You're fine. Even so, you should see all this. I mean, music for days. Well, as I discovered while practicing for my audition, by the way, the video of the funnier takes of that run through is up on my channel. I do much better after a dram of ethanol. To the bar. Good evening, denizens of the sea, every Joe I know, and people of the stage. Welcome to another salty episode of Before the Mast, a show where I share cocktails with you and drink an amount that the shrinks down at the VA say is excessive. Fucking killjoys. I mean, I still know where the bathroom is, and I'm able to walk all the way to my bed from there. So, that's all you need. All while telling you sea stories, naval history, and things of nautical import. Tonight's cocktail is one that I've wanted to try for a while. It comes by way of Don the Beachcomber, circa 1941. It's called the Test Pilot. Now, after World War II, a bunch of bars tried to mimic his drink, clone it. They never could get it quite right, so they just ended up naming it something else like Jet Pilot or Space Pilot or Astronaut or Ace Pilot, I think was another one. Whatever. John the Beachcomber's is Test Pilot, and that's the one that we'll be testing today. As always, the recipe is down in the description. And while you're down there, hit like and subscribe. I don't do this for my health, people. Well, maybe I do. Whatever. I do this for my mental health. And now for the booze. For this drink, you're going to need dark rum, light rum, Falernum, Pernod, triple sec, preferably Cointreau. I don't have any right now. And Angostura bitters. Let's get to building this bitch. And there it is, the Test Pilot. Cheers. That's all right. It's very strong. I mean, the only non-alcoholic thing we have in here is half an ounce of lime juice and a cocktail cherry. But that's why you blender it with the ice. It's a little, I might have put too much Pernod, whatever. I might have put too much of that stuff in there because a little too much black licorice here. But other than that, it's pretty good. You wouldn't believe that it's all alcohol. Anyhow, you need to enjoy this drink because it's such a challenge to make. Cheers. Speaking of challenges, today I want to give you, my esteemed viewers, it's widely known that only well-cultured people watch my content. Everybody else is a Philistine. A history of the challenge coin, how it's used, how it came to be, and what they mean. I'm also going to tell you a little bit more about my friend Chris King, who, as it happens, is a proprietor of challenge coins. If you've been in the military or know somebody who has been in the military, chances are you've seen a little case of coins displayed on desks or walls or in shadow boxes. Today, these coins are given as a token of appreciation or an acknowledgement of service above the call of duty. You know, when the command doesn't want to do the paperwork to give you a real medal or, God forbid, a promotion. I'm not bitter. But about 100 years ago, they started out as something entirely different. Now, the most plausible history is thus. Yes, quite. According to an article on defense.gov, the tradition started out at an Army infantry-run bar in Vietnam. These intrepid warriors sought to keep pogues out of their salty establishment by requiring proof that you'd been in combat. The proof was sometimes an enemy bullet or a shell or a piece of a flag or a piece of an enemy uniform. And that's when things went a little too far, as we infantrymen are known to do. Yes. Soldiers started bringing in grenades, rockets, all manners of unexploded ordnance. So in the name of safety, they required you to carry a coin with your unit insignia on it instead. This in turn would prove that you were in a combat unit. Soldiers without acceptable forms of proof were then required to buy the entire bar their drinks. Oh, they made sure you'd pay up. Infantry don't fuck around. And you don't want to play fuck around and find out with the infantry. These guys are salty, wretched, just so used to being fucked in the ass that it doesn't even hurt anymore. Metaphorically speaking. Although if it's okay if somebody does. Whatever. And the tradition carries on today with the coin check at bars frequented by people in the military or veterans. Someone comes up, lays a coin down in front of you. And if you don't have a coin of your own, well, mister, I hope it's payday because you're footing the bill for everybody's party. It is worth noting here that in all of my 16 years in the Navy and the Army, and then the Navy, and then the Army, I have not once seen anybody challenge anybody with a coin. Most likely because the only people who would do that nowadays are desk jockeys who think they have something to prove. Well, as an infantryman, I can tell you that if you ever did this to a combat veteran who's just trying to wet his whistle and forget about the past for a few moments, he's not going to buy you drinks. No. What he's going to do, he'll get you a free ride to the ER. So I suggest you keep your little challenge coin in your pocket or in your case. Don't put that shit down on the bar with an infantryman. Been through too much to be challenged by some pogue who's never been in combat. Just kidding, non-combatants can't fight a war without bullets. Everybody has their place. Another version of the story has it that some flyboy in World War I had coins minted for all of his soldiers. It was the army back then. Don't you dare try to correct me. Oh, it's airmen. No, that's exactly what it wasn't. They were soldiers. They were just flying soldiers. And the coins had their unit insignia on it. This pilot was later shot down and captured by the Germans, who stripped him of all his identification and all his personal effects. So he had no proof of who he was. But he managed to escape to a French town where he was greeted by a bunch of angry Frenchmen with guns who did not believe who he was. Well, poor Flyer looked like it was about to be his time. He was about to get gunned down in the street. But then he remembered. He had his challenge coin in a pouch around his neck. So he pulled it out, showed the Frenchmen. They recognized the insignia. Instead of shooting him in the face, they give him bottles of wine and food, bread, and they tell him he could sleep with their sisters and their mothers. Okay. The part about mothers and sisters, I added that in. But that's still not the most ridiculous part of the story. This story has so many plot holes, you could put it on a ham and cheese sandwich. You can decide which history you like the best. I know which one I believe. Anyway, my buddy Chris, he's a shipmate of mine from the USS McCampbell, which was a meat grinder that just forced everybody to rely on everybody for emotional support. He just recently retired. Congratulations, brother. I wish I could say it gets better. Well, he has a company called Mandatory Fun. The link to that is down in the description. He makes challenge coins of all shapes and sizes. In fact, he's got this dick coin right here. See, sometimes you just really need to embrace the suck. Sometimes you know it's coming. Sometimes you don't. But when you do, it helps if you just grease yourself up, in preparation of receiving the big blue wiener or the big greeny weenie, depending on your service branch affiliations. Well, this coin is an ode to that. Some may find it crass. Some may find it unnecessary. But see, they don't see it the way it's meant to be seen. It's a reminder to brace and bear down. It's an affirmation that yes, you can take this dick because you've seen bigger in your lifetime. It's a visual cue that reminds you not to lose your joy. You're going to take that dick and like it. You're going to embrace the suck. I actually want to order a bunch more of these. so I can hand them out while shaking hands. All just so I could tell that person, you know, I just gave you a handful of dick. Embrace it. Some other cool ones are this haunch rat one, which on one side it's the haunch rat, and on the other side it actually has a little map that shows you where all the cool places are, including the off-limit spots. If you know, you know. If not, sorry. Then there's this Chief Petty Officer coin that is stunning. It opens up. It's like a locket. Now, my dog, love her to death. She broke it. So mine is like 2 pieces. Sorry, Chris. Yeah. But it is cool. Very cool. It's got a goat on the front because goat locker. Then it has a little Chief Petty Officer mantra on the back. Very nice. I'm pretty sure that if you have an idea, he can have it designed and made as long as you got the dough. You know, nothing is free. And sometimes things aren't cheap. Although I will say that mandatory fun is very nicely priced. It's just going off to some... It's because I'm an artist and, yeah. People are always like, that much for a fucking portrait that you're gonna spend a whole fucking 3 months on? I thought it'd only be $50. Dicks. Mandatory fun, that's what we're back to. Nothing is free. Want to help a veteran? Buy their products. Chump. I'm going to leave you with my favorite coins and why they mean a lot to me. First, we have the USS McCampbell. This coin here still has haze gray paint on it. Yeah, that's how you know it's authentic. That coin was given to me by the captain after I saved the ship from imminent damage. Some people get Navy achievement medals for filing paperwork. Some guys get promotions because they're likable guys. Bosun mates don't need those trinkets for saving the ship. No, a coin is enough. Bosun mate for life. Bitches. Second, I have this coin given to me by the commanding general of the 18th Airborne Corps. For excellence. See that? Remember that. Well, thereby hangs a tale that I should probably save for later because it's truly its own episode. And finally, the dick coin. Because nothing is better than when a shipmate sends you a dick in the mail. By the way, Chris, I have to ask. When you received your shipment of inventory of the dick coins, did you take a second to appreciate that you had, for real, a bag of dicks? Just saying. Not many people can say that. Remember to check out his website, mandatoryfun.com. The link is in the description for the umpteenth time. These coins are a really fun way to commemorate your service or commemorate a friend's service or lampoon a friend, so to speak. I know exactly who I'm giving the dick to. Looking at you, son. Boy, that sounded much worse than I thought it would. I almost need to explain. See, whatever. So until next time, embrace the suck. It only gets worse from here. Cheers, assholes.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises, early in the morning. Put him in the longboat until he's sober. Put him in the longboat until he's sober. Put him in the longboat until he's sober. Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Early in the morning. Pull out the plug and wet him all over. Pull out the plug and wet him all over. Pull out the plug and wet him all over. Early in the morning. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises.
You know what really fouls my anchors? I was in LA for about a week. The reason was family issues. Anyways, when I came back, my associate's degree had fallen off the wall and destroyed my model of the USS Constitution. It took me 2 years to build that model. So much rigging. Now it looks like she just got done fighting Admiral Nelson. It couldn't have been my bachelor's degree. I mean, at least there would be like some gravitas in that, but no. Fucking associate's degree. Everybody has associate's degrees. That's another story. So many stories. It's a good thing. Stick around. You're gonna hear some shit. You thought last year was full of shit? I am full of shit. I am full of shit, as in I am full of stories to tell you. You know, the balls on this guy are really well defined. Is that in the picture? Barely. Little short guy. Get at some point. Bob Saget. Okay, I added the part about the sisters and the mothers myself. But that's not the most ridiculous part of the story. This story has so many plot holes. Your mother would be jealous. Whatever that meant. Some people get Navy Achievement Jobs is up on my channel. It's a little hard to drink.